Shalom, this is Rabbi Mark Angel at the Institute for Jewish Ideas and Ideals. Thanks very much for tuning in. Please visit our website, jewishideas.org. The Institute stands for an intellectually vibrant, compassionate, and inclusive Orthodox Judaism. The topic at hand today is relating to the issue of, are people who study in yeshivot exempt from military service? It's a difficult question, and in the state of Israel today, it's one of the most controversial issues. So recently, Israel Knesset passed a law, or reinforced a law, that all Israeli citizens age 18 must sign up for the military, and including yeshiva students. In the past, yeshiva students had been exempt. The argument was that since we're studying Torah, that's our contribution to the safety of the people of Israel. The rest of the population, understandably, doesn't accept that particular premise, and they feel it's unfair that their sons and daughters are going to war and fighting and risking their lives to protect Israel, while many thousands of students simply sit down in the yeshiva, presumably learning Torah, and living off, so to speak, the fat of the land, while other people are doing all the service. Very often they use highly negative, stereotypical language against the Haredim. In recent times, the Haredim have launched huge rallies against the government, tremendous rallies in Israel, bringing many, many thousands of people. And they're trying the same thing in the diaspora. And they're crying out that the government is anti-religious, it's not respecting the honor of Torah, etc. Some years ago, I met with one of the leading rabbis in Israel, and he told me, without blinking, without hesitation, that the people who are serving in the military are less significant for Israel's protection than those who are studying in yeshivot. In fact, he told me that he spoke with one of the Israeli generals and told the Israeli general that it would be better for the Sahal, for the Israel Defense Forces, if all the soldiers and all the men and women who are fighting and training to defend the country would put down their guns, get out of their tanks, get out of the airplanes, etc., and simply study Torah. And that way Israel would be safer. When I questioned him and said, are you willing to risk the safety of the entire people of Israel on that premise? He said, of course, that's absolutely true. We depend upon God, not on the forces of human beings. Well, I understand that there is that point of view. The only problem is that point of view is not solidly based in the Bible. Joshua had armies. The people of Israel fought to conquer the lands in the first place. God, with all of the miracles that he did for the people, still depended on individuals to take responsibility in terms of their own self-defense. We've also seen over the past number of centuries that the Jewish people, when they have not defended themselves, they have often suffered terrible consequences, persecutions, expulsions, and ultimately, more recently, the Holocaust, where Jews simply were unable to defend themselves. And God, with all God's greatness, didn't, for whatever reason, stand up and defend the Jewish people. So the Haredim will say, well, God didn't defend us because we weren't learning Torah. If we would have learned Torah, we would have been saved. The problem is many people studied Torah and they still were murdered. There are sources that you can find that will say that God protects us and we don't need to take responsibility for ourselves. But in the world that we live in today, this kind of argument doesn't really stand up. It doesn't make any sense. We see historically it doesn't make sense. Of course we have to trust in God, and of course God relies on us to do what we're supposed to do. The great rabbi of the 19th century, Rabbi Yehuda Alkalai, when he wrote about the need for Jews to take responsibility for themselves, said that God does miracles, but he first depends upon us to do something. He told Noah, build an ark. He didn't just say, Noah, I'm going to keep you in the space and help you survive miraculously. Noah had to build an ark in order to be spared from the flood. In the case of the menorah and Hanukkah, says Rabbi Alkalai, God needed some oil to work with. He didn't just say, I'm going to make oil come out of nowhere. I'll make fire come out of nowhere. No. The Jews had to find that oil and light the light and start the miraculous process going. And therefore, the Hareidi community or the yeshiva community that violently rejects their responsibility towards the land of Israel and the state of Israel is not in a good standing with all of the tradition of the Jewish people. And on the contrary, they build up a tremendous resentment against themselves. People think if you're religious, you are I hate to use the word, but you're a parasite. You just live off of the good of society. You let other people fight and risk their lives while you sit down securely in your yeshiva, presumably learning Torah. This is what I would call not a Kiddush Hashem, but I would call a Chilul Hashem. This desecrates the name of God. This desecrates the Torah. In the war of 1948 of Israel's independence, some yeshiva students came to Rabbi Uziel, who was a Sephardic chief rabbi, and they asked him, please give us a letter exempting us from military service. And Rabbi Uziel said, without any hesitation, I'm embarrassed by what you're asking. I'm ashamed of you. When the people of Israel is being attacked, when our existence is at stake, everyone is supposed to fight. Everyone is supposed to do their share. No one's supposed to look for ways out. And Rabbi Uziel said, if I were a young man, I would be out on the military myself. Rabbi Chaim David Halevi was one of the disciples of Rabbi Uziel. In fact, did serve in the 1948 war together with other yeshiva students who felt that obligation. It should also be remembered that many yeshiva students who go to yeshivot hesder, Zionist yeshivot, do serve, and they serve with great valiance, and they are considered great heroes within the Israeli military. So let me just close this by saying this. The Hareidi community has its point of view. Its point of view ultimately is antithetical to the best interest of the state of Israel. They create divisions, they create conflicts, and more than that, they create a tremendous resentment against religion in general, not just against themselves. So it would be good if those of us who had a point of view that represents the interests of total people of Israel and that cared about the spiritual and the physical existence of Israel, that we should say, yes, studying Torah is very, very important, but yes, it's also very, very important to stand up for the defense of Israel. It's not only important, it's a point of honor, a point of dignity, and a point of Kiddush Hashem, to be able to live in this generation when the state of Israel can defend itself. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that all is well with you. We wish peace on the whole state of Israel, peace on all of the Jewish world, and peace on all good people everywhere. Shalom, shalom, chazak, chazak.